That's it for our news roundup. Let's now take a look at what's making the headlines on the French newspapers with our press reviewer, Elena Casas. Hello again, Elena. Now, what are the French papers making of baby Sarkozy?
Morning, Claire. It's a girl. That's the big banner headline on the front of the free paper 20 Minutes. He's getting very excited about this. Finally, some good news for a president who, of course, has been beset by bad headlines recently. It's also here on the front page of Le Parisien. Got a happy-looking Carla there just before she went into the maternity hospital. And inside, though, they're looking at why these are the only two papers to put it on the front page, which seems quite surprising. Obviously, it is quite a big event. But they say it's all part of a media strategy on the part of the president because he was criticised so much in the past for putting his private life too much in the media eye. Both he and Carla Bruni have attracted criticism for putting their older children in the media spotlight. So they say that he's trying to shed this bling-bling image of the president who wants as much media attention as possible and look a bit more serious for the upcoming presidential campaign. So that's why there's not too much media attention. The Élysée, of course, haven't even confirmed that the baby's been born. But other analysts tell Le Parisien that they're also hoping this could give the new dad a poll boost because it makes him look younger and hopefully more accessible to voters. But they conclude by saying that the voters are worried about other things.
Things like the economy, and that's in the papers too, of course.
Look at this front page of Libération, quite spectacular this morning. There's a riot policeman here on the front who sort of looks like he's being consumed by fire. Of course, this is in Athens yesterday, a story that Libération says lots of its readers might be getting tired of. But imagine if you were Greek. We might think in France or in other parts of Europe that we've been spared. But imagine if you lived in a country where 50% of 20-somethings nearly didn't have a job, or if your salary was slashed by 60%, which has happened to Greek civil servants. For the people who are protesting in Athens, Libération says they really feel that they have no choice.
Right, let's move on to something else now. French politics in the papers too.
Yes. How many candidates do you reckon there are then running for this 2012 presidential election here in France?
At least 6 or 7.
According to Le Figaro, there's 14. They profile them all on a double page in here. There's a little bit over the top because some of them are people we now expect probably won't actually run, including Sarkozy's right-wing rival Dominique de Villepin and the centrist Hervé Morin. Apparently, they've both come under pressure from the presidency to drop their plans to run. But of course, there's other people in there, the right-wing Marine Le Pen and the famous campaigning human rights lawyer turned green activist Eva Joly. They're all in there, but there's two men who really count. And on the front page editorial of Le Figaro, they call it the natural candidate versus the synthetic candidate. They accuse the socialist François Hollande of being a kind of a creation of PR men, while they say that Sarkozy looks more natural next to him.
And Libération actually looks at a few of François Hollande's weaknesses.
Yes, they've got quite a funny piece inside called Hollande Learns to Speak Foreign. He's been accused in the past of having no interest in foreign policy and travelling very little, but he did go to Madrid this week to meet the Prime Minister José Luis Zapatero. They talked about more socialist solutions to the euro crisis, which Libération calls a fairly easy entry into foreign policy for him. But he's got bigger challenges up ahead. He's set to go to Brussels, Berlin, Brazil and Washington in the coming months.
And his former partner, Ségolène Royal, she didn't even make it into the second round of the primaries, but she's still making headlines.
Yes, it's not kept her off the front page of Le Parisien here. If we can have another quick look at that again. She's given them an interview in which she says she's all behind François Hollande and she still thinks she has a role to play in the campaign. Most of the voters, though, the paper asks, say that the French public just isn't listening to her anymore. She's yesterday's woman. Of course, she lost the 2007 election. There's a rather harsh cartoon on the inside, if we can have a look at that as well, in which she's telling Hollande, if only I could have been president. And he says, no, really, at best, you lost out on being first lady. So the French press normally avoid digging too much into their relationship, but obviously they couldn't resist today.
Couldn't resist, indeed. OK, thank you very much for that look at the French papers, Elena Casas.